Left field. It is out of here.
Hey guys, Mr. Coach DJ here. Today I'm going to be working with some actual players. I'm going to do some one-on-one hitting training, and I'm going to show you different techniques you can use for your different levels of players. I'm going to be working with some younger players today, 9 and 10-year-olds, and basically I just want to show you some techniques you can do to help improve their swing. I have a couple of them actually have a good swing, but obviously you can always make it better, especially when they're younger. There's a lot more room for improvement. So let's get to it. Hey guys, okay, so it was hot outside, so there was some fillers I missed, but I just wanted to go over some things for this video, just kind of like what we're doing as a breakdown. So like I said, I got three players. They're 9 and 10, so they play on a 9U to play on a 10U. So it gets, for starters, the first player, he's going through our warm-ups for the day. So you don't just jump into drills, even if you're doing personal training or anything like that. You should always warm your athletes up, you know, especially the movements that they're doing. So like I've done this before with one of my other videos about dynamic warm-ups. So you want to warm up the actual kind of manipulating the movements that you're going to do for the activity you're about to do. So you should always start out with some dynamic warm-up. So for starters, this is we're going to start with the athlete that's doing the dynamic warm-ups. And here, check this out. Okay, so now we did that. The next player actually is showing he's doing some kind of resistance training to manipulate the movements, you know, that his shoulders are gonna, you know, be doing, his hips. A lot of these younger players, when it comes to hitting, what we want to work on is getting their hips, you know, moved with baseball. Like I've seen this in middle school. I'm seeing this in high school. A lot of our hitters, they're not using their hips. They're not, you know, loading. They're not extending their feet, and they're not opening up. So the easiest thing to do is to teach us at a younger age, because it's really a fundamental, it's really a basic thing that you need for your hitting. And this is something good to have in your toolbox, and it should just be muscle memory, and you should be able to just, you know, you don't even have to think about it, it should just happen. But when you're 8, 9, 10 years old and you're learning it, yeah, you gotta, you know, go over sometimes and just kind of manipulate things. So what we're gonna do is we're showing some resistance band training, just to kind of manipulate that movement so they can know, you know, oh, this is how I should move. And then also it's a little bit of a workout. You really don't want to use too much, you don't want to depend on weights when you're dealing with younger players, because naturally they're going to develop, they're going to get stronger. You just want to give them a lot of manipulation into the movements that they're doing. All right, so this last player, he's showing another portion of it, one of the drills I'm going to use, which I've done before, you know, working on manipulating the hips. We're going to use a little PVC pipe and get his hands out extended so he can manipulate and get the twist, hitting a tennis ball off a tee. So this, like I said, it's to get that. We're going to continue with working on the hips. We're going to get them to set their feet, working on loading. And like I said, these are younger players, and we want to add this into their toolbox
so that, you know, they have this for years to come, and it's already there, and then we can be more advanced with our swinging and working on pitch locations and things like that.
So you're here, and I want you to pretend like you're really swinging, right? So you're here, right? So that's how you need to hit it, because this is, if I could just swing like if I do the golf swing, right, and I'm here, I'm gonna go over the ball, or you're gonna do too much of this, and you don't want to dip your body, right? You don't want to lean forward. So now you're changing your angle how you see the ball. What you want to do is you just want to work your legs. That's why we did the warm-ups over there, working with your legs and getting your legs strong, because you just want to use your legs. You want to use your legs to change your angle, not your upper body, just your legs. So you're here, all right? And that's how
So for each individual player, I like to do strengthen different things that they would need for that person. It could be the same as somebody else. It could be completely different, but every player is different, and there's a lot of things that you really want to kind of listen to the player when you're watching them as a coach or even as a parent. You know, like, oh, what is it the most that they need help on? So at the end of this training, what I did was, you know, for each individual player, they had their own kind of, you know, bonus at the end, something to work out and kind of like finish the training out strong. And then they did a little cool down stretch. I'm not that good of a stretcher, you know, like especially when it comes to that. I've said that, so like I said, my flexibility is not that good. But what I will do is I will drop in in my notes and a link to Coach Lisbona. Kind of been following this guy. He's a PE teacher, and he's been putting a lot of videos out during coronavirus, and he's got a lot of good information, got a lot of health tips and things like that, you know, eating healthy, a lot of exercise you can do with your kids, or just kids can do with themselves, with their siblings. I actually had my boys doing a little stretch video he had a little earlier, so there's some good things that get on there when you want to do a lot of calisthenics, which I'm not like good at it, and right now I guess I'm just old, and I'm just like, I don't care, I'm set in my ways, but I don't ever want to tell a player don't stretch, because it's important, and you need it. It's better to get it from somebody like him, because he's more of an expert in that, and that's his field. So make sure you check that out.
Hey guys, those are just a few examples of what you can do with your players. Like I said, a lot of times with these younger guys, they don't know how to use their legs. They're not using their hips, they're not loading, they're not doing things like that. So we got to teach them how to manipulate that. And you can do little things, like I said, with a resistance band. If you want to work on their forearm muscles, you know, get a towel, have them just roll a towel up, unroll it, roll it up, you know, be creative. Especially nowadays, right now, we can't really go to the gym. A lot of people don't have access to the gym like that. But just work on it. Even if it's, you know, if you don't have a resistance band, get a couple bats, get something heavy, and just have them kind of practice those swings, have them hold something with one hand, do different things like that. And you can turn it up a notch depending on the age, about their skill level and their strength and all that. Check out my other videos. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the thumbs up, check me out on Facebook, Mr. Coach DJ, and Instagram, Mr. Coach DJ. Thank you for being coachable. Drink water.
High drive. Left field.